Hi everybody, and welcome back to Mike Oski's Kitchen. My name is Michael Olszewski and I am the chef of this kitchen. And if you're tuning in, I'm assuming that you're the chef of your kitchen or trying to be the chef of your kitchen. Last 3 weeks we've made 3 Polish dishes in a row, back to back to back. We made Polacki ziemięcana, which is the Polish potato pancake. And then we made haluszki, which is a fantastic recipe. And of course we made bigos, which is the Polish hunter stew. It's fantastic. We're gonna break away from some Polish dishes and we're gonna kind of find something a little bit more traditional, a chicken dish. You know, chicken has lots of opportunities and different kind of variations that you can make chicken with. But one thing I wanna tell you with, hey look, I mean, if you're trying to be that chef of your kitchen, right now, when you have a chance, go down, hit that red subscribe button, get on this page, get on this channel, and don't miss anything, because we're gonna make Polish dishes, we're gonna make non-Polish dishes, we're gonna make plenty of other things, and maybe some crazy stuff that I've never tried before. So I just wanna encourage you that, hey, this is your kitchen, be the chef of your kitchen. You don't have to go to the culinary school, and you can be fantastic. But today, and make sure you have a beer or two or wine, but today we're gonna make this wonderful chicken dish. And I'm just gonna give you the ingredients overall. So write these down, and then once we go through this, as we step through it, I will tell you exactly how much you need of each ingredient, and you can script those things down, okay? So this dish is called a chicken stuffed roll-up, okay? It's got spinach, it's got cream cheese, it's got fantastic flavors. I'm telling you, this is a restaurant dish. This is a gourmet dish that you are gonna impress not only yourself, but your family too. So let's go ahead and do this. In this dish, we're gonna have spinach. We're going to have mayo. We're gonna have crushed red pepper, garlic, love garlic, lots of garlic, Parmesan cheese, cream cheese, then we're gonna have onion powder and paprika, and of course, garlic powder, salt. Salt's in everything, right? And then we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna show you how to handle this chicken, how to dress it up, how to prepare it, and how everything will come together into one fantastic dish. We're gonna go step by step. That's why I wanna do that with you, because we have a rub to make, and then we have a filling to make, and then we're gonna show you how to cut the chicken and make sure that everything comes together in one spot. So from here on out, hang in there, get your pen, get your paper, hit the subscribe button. I'm telling you, it's important because I'm making a lot of other stuff coming up. But right now, we're gonna go ahead and make the rub, and I'm gonna show you exactly how many ingredients is used in that and how much of those ingredients is to be used. All right, so the next step of this recipe is huge. It's the seasoning, it's the rub. And I'm gonna tell you what, when you make sure that the chicken or the beef or whatever you're cooking is seasoned correctly, it really makes the recipe. But I'm gonna tell you what, this is simple. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make this rub, very simple. First thing we're gonna do is a teaspoon of paprika, okay? So let's go ahead and do a teaspoon. You can watch me along this way. Teaspoon of paprika. And then we're gonna go a teaspoon of salt. Just a teaspoon, because we don't wanna overwhelm the chicken with too many heavy spices. And then we're gonna go a quarter teaspoon of garlic powder. And let's do that, quarter teaspoon. You know what, if you overfill the quarter teaspoon, that's okay. I just did, a little bit out. Just estimate it. Again, it's your kitchen, you can do what you want. And then a quarter teaspoon of the onion powder. I went about half, but that's okay. So what we want to do is take those 4 ingredients, a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of salt, quarter teaspoon of onion powder, quarter teaspoon of garlic powder, and we just want to mix that up, make it all one big happy rub. And it kind of looks like that, if you can see it. But just mix it up, because what we're going to do, we're going to sprinkle it on the chicken here in a little bit. Okay? Now, the next step is going to be, we're going to make the filling for the chicken, or the stuffing. So we'll be right back for that. Okay, for our filling for the chicken, stuffed chicken roll-up, spinach roll-up, very simple. We're going to use garlic and mayo and some parm, and then, of course, crushed red peppers and spinach. let me show you what to do. We have, what you want to use is about 4 ounces to 5 ounces of cream cheese. You can add more, or you can add less. I like about 5 ounces because it kind of fills in a little bit more, but 4 ounces typically is what's normal. So we're gonna let that, and that's been kind of sitting out for about an hour or so, so it's getting soft. So when we start mixing it up, it's gonna go ahead and blend very easily. So what we're gonna do first is that we're gonna go ahead and take our measuring scoop, and then we're gonna go 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese into this cream cheese, about 1/4 cup. This is a 1/4 cup. Now what I like to do, this is crazy. I know that looks like a 1/4 cup, but there's nothing wrong with heaping it up a little bit. Drop it in there, it's no big deal. It's up to you, it's your kitchen, remember. And then next thing you wanna do is add a little bit of mayo. Now the mayo, we use some real mayonnaise, you can use Hellmann's, you can do whatever you want, but it's gonna take 2 tablespoons of mayo. So I'm gonna go ahead, I know that's heaping, but let's be heaping. And I'm gonna heap it again, 2 tablespoons of mayo. Fantastic. Then after that, we want to make sure we add our garlic. Now it calls for 1 teaspoon of garlic, but you know what, people? Garlic? You gotta have a lot of it. 1 teaspoon is not enough. I'm gonna go 1, and I'm gonna go 2. Why not? If you wanna go 3, it's up to you. If you like the garlic in your dishes, you like that taste of garlic, go 4. It's not gonna kill it. It's not gonna kill it at all. So we got that, and then finally, if you want to zoom the thing up a little bit of spices, crushed red peppers. Now, you don't have to use, the 1/2 teaspoon is what kind of the recipe calls for. I like to use about a teaspoon, heaping teaspoon. It's okay. If you want to use a tablespoon, go for it, because again, if you like it more spicy, have at it, it's okay. Now, the final part of it is spinach. What I'm gonna do, we're gonna have a cup and a 1/2 of spinach. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a big bunch of spinach out like this. I'm gonna squeeze it on my hand. Let me show you how easy it is to chop spinach. You kind of put it together on the cutting board, squeeze it with your hands, start from the outside, and rock that knife back and forth. Very simple. Get it and turn it. Keep just chopping, it's not gonna hurt anything. Keep chopping with that knife, rocking that knife back and forth. That looks like close enough, but I'm gonna add a little bit more. Again, take the bunch, as I'm doing here. I kind of tighten it up a little bit and make a ball, and I just go ahead and start chopping. Any way you feel comfortable, but this seems to be the easiest way. So we have a nice looking amount of spinach on this cutting board, and I think this might be enough for our cup and 1/2. Let's just go ahead and check. So I got a cup right here. I'm gonna have to put a cup of spinach in here, right there, about a cup, boom, and 1/2. It's a little bit more than 1/2, maybe. Okay, you see it right there? It's about a 1/2 cup. I'm gonna drop it in there. Now, the easy part is, or the hard part, however you want to look at it, is taking everything we put together, the spinach, the cream cheese, the mayo, the garlic, and the crushed red peppers, and we want to put it together, and we just want to mix it all in one. The key you have to really remember is, although you're using about 4 to 5 ounces of cream cheese, perfect, that's fine. But I would put it out for about an hour before you make the meal because it softens. And look how nice it's getting right now. It's very easy to spin and mix together. If you took it out maybe 10 minutes ago, you might have a little bit more work in front of you. But right now, it's really blending nicely. I just use a spoon, you can use a fork. But we want to get all those spices together and mixed into one, because this right here is going to be the filling for your stuffed chicken or your stuffed roll-up chicken. And man, it smells amazing actually just doing this. All right. So that's about what you want to see. So you got your spinach, you got your parm, you got your mayo, you got your garlic, you got some crushed red peppers. You can add or take away from this recipe, but it's up to you. But again, I told you exactly what you need to put in it from the start, but amend it the way you like your tastes. Next, we're gonna go ahead and work with this chicken, and that's the fun part. Be right back. Okay, chefs, so we've made our stuffing. We made our rub or our spices mix that we're gonna add on the chicken, but what we have to do first is take care of this chicken. It's important because these are very thick breasts, so what you want to do is we're going to go ahead and fillet these. Another fancy word of saying fillet them, and we're going to cut them in half, or we're going to cut them long ways. What we want to do is we want to make that chicken breast as thin as possible so it allows us to roll it up and put the stuffing in. So let me show you what we're going to do. First, we're going to go ahead and cut this first one here. What you want to do is put your hand on the top of it. Take your knife, the sharpest knife you have. We're going to cut down the middle. And we're going to make a fillet right underneath your hand. Perfect. See that? It's a perfect fillet. There's one. And then we're going to go ahead and hit the other one. And there's, sometimes they stick together, but that's okay. There's two. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 thin fillets. And that's important because we got to be able to roll these up, okay? So the fillets are important. But here I'm going to show you a little trick real quick, how to make sure that these chickens are going to be thin enough. And it's very simple to be done. I have a mallet, okay? Don't use this side because it will tear the chicken up. Don't use that. Use the soft side, use the flat side. We want to make sure that we take these chickens and then we flatten them down just a little bit more. Because again, we want to be able to go ahead and roll these things up. The thicker they are, the harder they are to roll. See how it's flattening out? You see that? It's perfect. Same thing. Finishing them up. Don't use the other side, use the flat side. You'll tear the chicken up if you don't. See how nice and flat that is? It's perfect. Look at that thing. It's beautiful. And the last one. You don't have to be here hammering away at it like you're trying to knock some person's, like, you just don't want to be like this. Just go ahead and just very simply lay it out. See how that worked out? Perfect. Look how thin that is. Now, what we want to do next with the chicken is just take a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to go ahead and line them up. Just a little bit. Drizzle a little bit on one, a little bit on each one of them. And then I use like a little brush, and I just kind of spread the olive oil all around just to cover it. It helps the chicken brown. It helps the chicken cook, I think. And we're going to flip it over, and we're going to use the same olive oil that's still stuck on this brush, and we're going to finish it off, okay? Make sure you wash your hands when working with chicken. After I'm done with this particular process, I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands. All right. So remember that seasoning we made? Let's go ahead and sprinkle it. We don't want to overwhelm it. We just want to sprinkle on the chicken. So go ahead and take your hands. Just boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. We just want to make sure that we're getting a nice little coating on it. Take your chicken hand, which I've been using my left hand with, and flip them back over. We want to go ahead and coat the other side. Chicken having some seasoning. You gotta have some seasoning with the chicken. It's very important to have that. So there you are. Looking fantastic. Don't be afraid to overdo it because that's what the recipe called for. It's going to cook right out. It's going to mixed together as everything's coming together in the oven. And at this point, that's what you want your chicken to look like. Nice, flat, thin pieces of fillets of chicken. And then the next step we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and fill these. No, we're gonna roll these with the filling, and then we'll go from there. So stay tuned, let's go to do that. Okay, great, so we're back, and what the next step is, this is the fun step. Make sure you wash your hands when you work with chicken because you don't want any cross-contamination. I've washed my hands multiple times doing this. So now we have our chicken that's been seasoned. We've already made the seasoning, remember? And remember, we made this stuffing. This is what's gonna go next. This is the easy part, but this is the most important part. So what we wanna do, we got our chicken already laid out, we got it seasoned, we got it patted down, we got a nice little thin fillet of chicken. It makes it much easier to roll. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take about that much. We're just gonna drop it on the chicken. And what I like to do, I like to actually form it a little bit. And just make it sure it fits inside the chicken. You don't want to go outside the chicken. If you have a little bit of strip of chicken on the outside, it's perfect. So right now what we want to do is take this, and if you can see, we're going to hold that in there and we're going to roll it. Keep rolling, keep rolling. And then make sure you stuff it from the sides. And that's it. That is absolutely it. Look at that. I mean, look at that. Look how much stuff that is. It's fantastic. So the seam side needs to stay down. The seam side, which I mean is as you roll it, keep it down. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and roll these next three up, just the same way I did the first one. And then next step is to put the puppy into a baking dish, and we'll cook this thing. So I'll be right back. Everything rolled up, we're ready to go. Always make sure when you're rolling them up, see, as you can see this one, you want to tap it and just push it back into the roll. Don't worry, when it cooks, it's going to kind of seep out, but there's a special process that you can do to really make it good as it continues to cook. So just make sure you tap the insides and we're ready to go. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and put it into a baking dish, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, everybody, great job so far. We are in the final step. This is the easy step. We've done our rolling, we've done our seasoning, we've done our stuffing making, and look, you're right next to making a dish that's gonna impress both you and your family. I'm telling you what. Next step is a simple step. You have a baking dish. 9 by 13 works just perfect. So what I like to do is just spray a little bit of nonstick in it. Pretty simple. After that, I like to have a sip of beer. So we have 4 chicken breasts. We're going to take, remember, the seam side down. It's important. You see the seam? You see it right here? Because when you put it into the oven, as it cooks, as it bakes, the seam side will connect to this and you won't have a breakaway. So you put it in seam side down. Same thing with this dude. Seam side down. Same thing with this dude, seam side down, see? And then the last one we're gonna put in there, seam side down. That should be what you look like coming into it. Now, it's not gonna look that pretty coming out because we're gonna have a little bit of spill out from the stuffing, but I'm gonna show you what to do with that because it's amazing. Right now, we're gonna go ahead and start the oven, 375. And when that preheats up to 375, we're gonna drop this in for about 25 minutes and then check it. But 25 minutes should be plenty of time. So let's go ahead and wait till this thing gets preheated, and then we'll get rocking and rolling. Okay, so we are ready to put these puppies into the oven. And I'll tell you what, man, did they turn out good. Just take a look at this. Look at the amount of stuffing we're gonna have in this puppy. It's awesome. So don't worry, it might leak out during the cooking, but I got a great plan for you. But remember, make sure that you have the seam side down before you cook them. So what I'm gonna do, actually this doesn't have the recipe calling for it, but I like to take a little bit of Parmesan cheese. I'm just gonna shake just a little bit over the top. And since our oven has been preheated to 375, we're gonna put the puppy in right now. We're gonna put all these guys in right now, and we're gonna wait for about 25 minutes or so, and then we're gonna take a look and see what we're doing. But after that, we're ready to eat. So we're gonna put them into the oven, 375. Again, about 25 minutes. Plenty of time to have a beer or two, and we'll wait and see what happens. You're gonna love it. Be right back. Okay, time is up, so we're gonna go and grab it out of the stove right now. It's been in there for about 25 minutes, so let's go ahead and do that. Oh man, does it look good. You can see that. Look how beautiful that looks. Can you see that very well? Sounds fantastic. So what we're gonna do is, show you what to do, is take it. If you have tongs or a fork or something like that, I'm gonna grab the middle one here. You see how it stays together? Because we had the seam side down. We're gonna put it right here. And of course, if you can see how the stuffing kind of spilled out from the side, what we wanna do is just kind of leave it on the top here. It's just some extra stuff that will work well. Now, just so you show you how it works. There you go. Doesn't that look amazing? Now you can, I like to dress it up a little bit with a little bit of parsley, makes it look nice. You can do what you want to do, make it look nice. But what you can do on this plate, you can add creamed potatoes, you can add broccoli, you can add any kind of vegetables, you can put mashed potatoes. But right now, this is just perfect. Congratulations, you made a fantastic dish. It's a very easy dish, easy ingredients, but I'll tell you what, you're gonna be a superstar in your house making this for your family. Fantastic, congratulations. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel because we got more coming like this and more Polish dishes. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate you being here. Dziękuję and śmijago.